GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good morning, Montreal. Businesses are gearing up for Canada Day, with many shops and attractions staying open on July 1st, and the city is rolling out interest-free rental loans for tenants struggling with rent. Meanwhile, Environment Canada warns of a hot, humid spell across southern Quebec today. Over to you, Ryan.
Carey Price has been elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame as part of the 2026 class.
The Hall of Fame ceremony will honor Price alongside his fellow inductees this summer during a special event celebrating Canadian hockey legends.
Price joins the Hall of Fame alongside other notable players in the 2026 induction class.
All right, let's get into it, starting with today's top headlines and the latest updates across Montreal. Good morning, Montreal. Canada Day on July 1st will see a patchwork of open and closed doors across the island. The city and the provincial government have issued a schedule that most municipal offices, libraries, and schools will remain shut, while essential services such as the police, fire department, and hospitals keep their normal hours. Public transit will run on a holiday timetable, and the REM will maintain its regular service. Major cultural sites, including the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts, the Biodome, and the Montreal Science Centre, will welcome visitors but operate on reduced hours. Retailers and restaurants are encouraged to post their individual hours, with many choosing to close for the holiday and a few offering limited service. The guidance aims to help residents plan their moves and celebrations on Quebec's traditional moving day.
The mayor announced yesterday that the city will roll out an interest-free rental loan program aimed at renters under financial strain. Roughly 150 households will be eligible for loans of up to $5,000, with a repayment schedule spread over 5 years. The assistance is designed to keep families in their homes and stave off evictions, offering a breathing room while they get back on their feet. City officials say the scheme will launch early next month, giving low-income tenants a straightforward way to cover overdue rent without accruing interest. Applications will be processed through the Municipal Housing Office, and eligible residents will receive guidance on repayment terms. This new financial safety net comes as part of broader efforts to support vulnerable renters across the island today.
Health officials confirmed yesterday that 2 measles cases were identified in Portneuf. The cases are part of a broader provincial outbreak that has seen a steady rise in reported infections across Quebec. The Public Health Agency has urged anyone who has not been vaccinated or who shows symptoms such as fever, rash, or cough to seek medical attention promptly. Contact tracing teams are already working in the affected area to determine possible sources and to notify close contacts. Provincial health authorities continue to monitor the situation, emphasizing the importance of vaccination to curb further spread. No hospitalizations have been reported so far, and no additional cases have been linked to the Portneuf cluster at this time. Both patients have been placed under isolation, while public health teams assess their contacts. Meanwhile, regional health centers have opened temporary vaccination sites to improve access for unvaccinated residents.
Yesterday, the City of Montreal boosted its rent assistance bank with an additional $750,000, a move aimed at shielding families on the brink of eviction. The funding, channeled through the Mason Du Piers Bank Dado Lawyer Program, expands support to roughly 150 households that were facing imminent loss of housing. City officials said the injection strengthens the emergency aid pool, ensuring quicker responses when landlords issue notices. The Mason Du Pier, which administers the program, will distribute the new resources to qualifying tenants across the island, targeting low-income renters most at risk. This latest allocation follows earlier efforts to keep housing stable amid rising costs, and municipal leaders highlighted the importance of preventing homelessness before it starts. Mayor Soria Martinez Ferrada praised the decision as a concrete step toward protecting vulnerable residents.
Construction is set to begin on a new affordable housing complex in St. Lazare, with 45 units slated to welcome their first tenants in fall 2028. Premier Christine Fréchette praised the project as a model for the province's push to expand affordable options, and the municipality of St. Lazare confirmed the development will add a critical boost to local housing supply. The initiative aligns with Quebec's broader strategy to deliver more accessible homes across the region, aiming to ease pressure on families seeking affordable rentals. Officials said the design will include energy-efficient features and communal spaces to foster a supportive environment. Funding comes from provincial programs earmarked for such projects, and construction partners have already secured the necessary permits. Residents can expect the first doors to open as the weather turns cooler next autumn. Coming up, we break down Quebec nearing 100,000 vacant homes and its impact on renters. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back. Here, the latest headlines, and now Ryan Mercer will bring you the local stories shaping our community today.
Quebec's housing inventory now includes roughly 100,000 empty dwellings, a figure released today by provincial officials. That many vacant units matches the entire household count of SHAIRBrook, underscoring a scale that could influence the broader market. Analysts note that such a surplus can keep rental rates high and limit options for families seeking affordable space, a pressure felt by anyone commuting to work or looking for a starter home. The province says the vacant stock is spread across urban and rural areas, with many properties listed for sale but remaining unsold. Policymakers are weighing measures to encourage occupancy, from tax incentives to stricter reporting. For residents navigating tight budgets, the presence of so many unused homes adds another layer of uncertainty to everyday housing decisions. Homebuyers and renters alike will watch closely as officials weigh how to turn these empty units into livable spaces.
After 3 seasons with CF Montreal, midfielder Mihala Opoku is heading to Greece. The transfer to Panathinaikos FC was confirmed yesterday, ending a stint that saw her appear in 42 MLS matches for the club. Opoku's move comes as she looks to test herself in a new league and bring her experience to the Super League Greece side. The Canadian-born player, who joined the Impact in 2023, has been a regular presence in midfield, contributing to the team's depth during a period of rebuilding. While she departs, CF Montreal will retain a roster spot for her contributions and will focus on integrating younger talent. Panathinaikos announced they expect Opoku to add a dynamic presence in the middle of the park as they aim for a higher table finish. Fans in both cities will be watching closely as she begins her new chapter.
Environment Canada has issued an urgent warning for an extended stretch of hot, humid conditions across southern Quebec and Ontario, beginning today and expected to last through the first week of July. Temperatures are set to climb into the high 30s Celsius with humidity levels that could push heat indexes well above comfort thresholds. Health officials advise people, especially seniors and those with respiratory issues, to stay hydrated, limit outdoor exertion during peak afternoon hours, and seek shade or air-conditioned spaces when possible. Schools and workplaces may adjust schedules, and residents are cautioned that the heat could strain electricity demand and increase the risk of heat-related illnesses. The agency's alert follows its routine practice of notifying the public when extreme weather is forecast, urging vigilance as the spell continues today.
The province and federal government, alongside Hydro-Quebec, revealed yesterday a new initiative that will cover the cost of installing heat pump systems for eligible low-income households across Quebec. Under the plan, qualifying families will receive a complete, no-charge installation, helping them lower winter heating bills and reduce carbon emissions. The program is set to launch in the coming weeks, with Hydro-Quebec handling the technical work and the 2 levels of government funding the equipment. Residents who meet income criteria can apply through a streamlined online portal, and the first installations are expected to begin early next month. Officials say the effort supports provincial climate goals while easing financial strain for those most vulnerable during the cold season. The scheme also funds removal of old furnaces, which can improve indoor air quality for families. Local service centers will help residents apply, and the program creates training spots for technicians in the area.
Early Monday, the West Island Women's Shelter opened a joint initiative to screen and treat traumatic brain injuries in women facing intimate partner violence. The program, spearheaded by Shelter Director Ghislaine Simard, brings together researchers, physicians, social workers, and police officers to identify hidden concussions and related damage that often go untreated. Officials say the effort responds to a growing awareness that many survivors carry undiagnosed brain injuries, which can worsen mental health and hinder recovery. Participants will receive on-site neuroassessment, referrals for advanced imaging and coordinated medical follow-up, while police gain training to recognize injury signs during investigations. The collaboration aims to close a critical gap in care, giving victims faster access to treatment that could improve long-term outcomes. The initiative marks the first coordinated response of its kind in the region.
Now, let's take a quick look at your morning forecast with our weather team.
A deepening trough over the Great Lakes injects moisture, while a northwest jet fuels an early summer surge. On this date, the all-time high for Montreal stands at 31.7 degrees, recorded in 2018 during an unprecedented heat wave that pushed the city into the mid-30s for several days. The all-time low is 13.3 degrees, set in 2022 when a sudden Arctic dip brought bitterly cold air into the province, dropping temperatures well below the June norm. By contrast, the climatological average high for June 29 hovers around 27 degrees with a low near 16, underscoring how today's warmth already eclipses the normal by several degrees. The live radar paints a thin band of rain marching eastward across the southern suburbs, anchored by a weak cell that will crest the island at around 1 p.m. The northwest jet at 141 kilometers per hour is shearing the system, keeping the heaviest core just north of the St. Lawrence and allowing it to clear by mid-afternoon. With no other echoes inland, I turn to today's outlook. At 7, Montreal sits at 17 degrees under a mostly clear sky, humidity at 82%, and a gentle southerly breeze of 4 kilometers per hour. A near-average pressure system is falling, inviting an unsettled air mass that will thicken as the day progresses. The northwest jet, punching through the upper troposphere at 141 kilometers per hour, drags cooler air aloft while funneling low-level moisture from the southwest, producing a brief rain shower near 1 p.m. before dissipating. Temperatures rise to a high of 33 degrees by mid-afternoon, then ease to 24 as clouds dominate the evening. The UV index reaches 7, and wind remains modest, topping 8 kilometers per hour from the south. A heat warning persists for the Montreal area, so remain aware of elevated temperatures. Turning now to the 5-day outlook. Tuesday brings a cooler start with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 18. Overcast skies dominate, and a 55% chance of rain will linger through the afternoon, driven by a slow-moving front from the west. Wednesday sharpens back to summer, climbing to 32 degrees and 20 lows under continued cloud cover, but with no measurable precipitation. Thursday swings back toward dryness, a high of 31 and a low of 24 under a clear sky, yet a 40% rain probability hints at isolated showers as the jet stream nudges a moist plume northward. Friday eases to a high of 30 and a low of 22, mainly clear with light breezes. Saturday remains pleasant, high 29, low 20 clear skies, and only a 20% chance of rain, offering a gentle finish to the week. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunrise is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Up next, traffic updates, tonight's concerts with Stacey Kent and Evanescence, and the Canadians trade news. Stay tuned, we will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Morning commuters can breathe easy. No accidents, road closures, or construction delays have been reported across the island. Autoroute 15, Autoroute 20, and Autoroute 40 are all moving freely, with steady speeds along the Champlain Corridor and the Des-Carrés Expressway. Downtown streets from St. Catherine to Saint Laurent are clear, so the usual rush through the downtown core should stay smooth. With traffic flowing normally, drivers can expect the same pattern this afternoon, though a few routine lane shifts are slated for the southwest sector near the St. Henry Bridge afternoon. Transit remains on schedule. The Green Line and Orange Line are running on time, and bus routes through the Plateau and the West Island are holding their regular frequencies. Travelers heading to the Montreal Trudeau Airport can also expect a smooth ride on the Des-Carrés and Autoroute 20 all morning. In short, today's commute looks clear, so plan your route and enjoy a hassle-free ride.
Evanescence rocks the Bell Centre tonight. delivering the soaring anthems that have defined a generation, perfect for anyone craving a high-octane night out with friends. Jazz lovers can slip into Theatre Maisonneuve for Stacey Kent's intimate set, a highlight of the Festival International de Jazz de Montreal, where her velvety phrasing turns every song into a late summer reverie that feels like a warm sunrise. The Festival International de Jazz de Montreal continues to pulse through the Quartier des Spectacles, with hundreds of concerts and free outdoor stages inviting families and friends to soak up world-class music on the streets, making the city itself a living stage. Looking ahead, Melody Gardot takes the stage at Salle Wilfrid Pelletier starting tomorrow, July 1st, offering a soulful blend of jazz and blues that promises to be a festival centerpiece and a perfect soundtrack for a relaxed evening. And now here's Tyler with sports.
Big moves and bigger honors, it's a landmark week for the Canadiens. A 14-year chapter in Montreal is over. The Canadiens have dealt forward Brendan Gallagher to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for future considerations. CBC Sports NHL confirmed the move, closing the book on one of the longest and most recognizable tenures in recent Habs history. Gallagher is heading west, but he is leaving a piece of himself behind. Now a Vancouver Canuck, the veteran forward told Sportsnet that Montreal will always feel like home after 14 seasons with the club, adding that he is genuinely excited about the next chapter of his career. In a moment worth celebrating, Carey Price is headed to the Hockey Hall of Fame. The Canadiens' goaltending great was elected to the 2026 class alongside Patrice Bergeron, Pekka Rinne, Keith T. Tkachuk, and Cindy Curley. CBC Sports NHL reported the election earlier this month.
AXC, the Ville-Marie tech hub that's been buzzing for a year, just marked its first anniversary with a bold new chapter. The center, known for pairing Montreal's boldest startups with seasoned mentors, has secured $1.5 million in renewed funding from the City of Montreal and sealed a strategic partnership with the DMZ, a world-renowned incubator. That infusion will let AXC expand its co-working space, launch an international matchmaking program, and draw more investors into the neighborhood. For the Ville-Marie community, it means more local talent staying home, more jobs, and a stronger global voice for our city's innovation. That's why Matters, it turns Montreal's ideas into world-class impact. And now a uplifting story. Montreal Shelter is launching a new program to treat brain injuries in abuse survivors. Stay with us.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on gmna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
On a bright Saturday morning in the historic heart of downtown Montreal, the forecourt of St. James United Church is humming with anticipation. Volunteers from the community, local musicians, and families with picnic blankets gather under the gentle shade of the church's stone arches, ready to welcome the third edition of Solfest MTL. The scent of fresh croissants from a nearby bakery mingles with the early summer air, while a young violinist tunes her instrument beside a painted mural of the city's skyline. As the clock strikes 10, the first acoustic chord spills over the cobblestones, and a chorus of smiles spreads across faces of all ages. Children twirl to the rhythm, seniors tap their feet, and strangers become friends, sharing stories over shared cups of coffee. By midday, the stage bursts with a kaleidoscope of sounds, jazz, folk, and world rhythms, each note echoing the city's vibrant diversity. In that instant, the simple joy of free music unites the neighborhood, reminding everyone that community thrives when we gather in shared celebration. It's moments like these that remind us why we love our city.
In the heart of the plateau, on a sun-kissed Saturday morning, a handful of neighbors gathered around the newly painted railing of the community center's rooftop garden. Among them were retired teacher Marie Claude, who brought a basket of fresh rosemary, and 12-year-old Luca, eager to hand-paint the wooden seed boxes. A local bakery set up a modest table, offering warm cinnamon rolls that drifted sweet aromas across the concrete. As the first seedlings of lavender and wildflowers were gently pressed into the soil, a soft breeze carried the distant rumble of a streetcar and the faint laughter of children playing below. The volunteers worked side by side, hands dirty, stories swapping as easily as the tools passed from one to another. When the first shy violet buds unfurled, a quiet cheer rose from the crowd, and the rooftop seemed to glow a little brighter against the city skyline. It's moments like these, simple, shared, and rooted in community, that remind us why Montreal feels like home, no matter how busy the day becomes.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us this morning. From the city's new interest-free rental loans helping tenants, to the exciting transfer of Mahala Apoku to Greece, it's clear our community is moving forward. We appreciate your time, and we'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter. Stay safe.